I think as chair of the AYM, there are a number of things really. One is I felt that you had to recruit a lot. I spent a lot of my time recruiting. Most people wouldn't actually even recognise that I did that, because I realised that any advocacy organisation required at least a small handful of very bright leaders, but also required another half a dozen runners or contributors to organising. There's a magic number of organisers you need to make anything happen, and I can tell you to this day, my business life running PLC companies, it's absolutely true still. So my training came from somewhere else to run big PLCs. You still need that golden number of people, and so I was forever trying to persuade people to get engaged with things, and it wasn't. I never really said this is what the AYM was about. I used to say, what do you believe in? Would you like to make a contribution? And it was trying to get people to personally engage in things in that way, because a lot of people, even in the 80s, today, for example, we complain about the lethargy of youth or the apathy of political movements. I experienced that the same in the 80s. It was a fewer group of organisers. It may have been that at that period there was a stronger willingness to participate in organised activities, but there was still that apathy in this country of actually standing up for and articulating what you believed in. And so as our leader, I spent a lot of time recruiting people, but actually organising things, from writing leaflets to designing leaflets. I've got a design background, so I'd find myself not only writing things, but actually with a ruler and a pencil actually laying out things. I mean, if only we had desktop publishing in those days, it would have been wonderful to, I did everything. I was on the streets, leafleting, fundraising, organising social events. I mean, nothing was beyond me, to do. When we had socials, I'd cook, because I cook a lot, so I'd be in the kitchen cooking, as our leader. So it didn't really matter much to me what I did, and that. And I think that oddest contribution was perhaps on demonstrations where actually I tried to organise them, properly with stewards and things. Because I was ever so taken aback by how badly organised demonstrations were, and that. So I think somebody actually laughed at me when I said I wanted a stewards meeting the day before a demonstration, and so they said, "What do you want one of those for?" And I said, "Well, these demonstrations can fall into trouble, and lots of people come and they need to understand where their support is. If you get arrested or anything happens and that." And I said, what seemed a novel idea at the time was writing down the name of a solicitor on a piece of printed paper, and things like that. That was so basic. No one would ever even think to actually do those things. So that, to give you a slight demonstration of my fairly granular engagement in the organisation, that's what it was about.